Don't believe the hype is a sequel. This one will, so believe the hype. Don't believe the hype is a sequel.
Hello YouTube, another watch review video, and this one perhaps a little longer than the 5 minutes that I try and keep my other ones down to. This is of course the Ginault Ocean Rover. If you're interested in a more comprehensive unboxing, I did a 10-minute video on this one when it arrived last week. This is going to be my 1 week on the wrist review, if you like. This one really very popular on YouTube and watch for at the moment, unsurprisingly, because the manufacturer are giving considerable, and I mean considerable, discounts on the watch if you're prepared to do a review. The reviews have been overwhelmingly positive, and with good reason. It really is a stunning watch, but I'm going to start with a few gripes. Possibly the only complaints about this watch that you'll find on YouTube at the moment, and there it is. It is absolutely beautiful. Oh, don't worry, the gushing praise will come, but I'll start off with a few complaints or minor details. So, comes in a very pleasant, very well made little box. Nice screwdriver there. It's got screw links, so the screwdriver is useful for adjusting those. What else have we got? International warranty, which is useful for me. I live in Australia, so the watch comes from the States. Now, this is a chart detailing the 6-week process that the movement undergoes. This is the Ginault, what is it they call it, 7225 or something, an ETA clone that is worked on over a period of 6 weeks to ensure that it is as accurate as possible. I'll come back to this a little later on. There is a 2-piece sand-coloured Zulu in here. If you want more information on the box, etc., please see my other video. I'll keep the cloth here to polish the item. And there is the item. Isn't it just gorgeous? So this is the Ginault Ocean Rover. Ginault apparently started about 5 years ago with a sub-clone. I guess this is also a Submariner homage, clone, replica, whatever you want to call it. Actually, probably a meld of 3 or 4 different Rolexes. It's got the case and bezel from the 16110, the so-called 5-digit Submariner, 40mm and those quite narrow lugs. Glide lock bracelet from one of the brand new Submariners. The dial, maxi indices and sword hands are from the famous Mill Sub, which I believe will set you back close to 100,000 US if you want one of those. Or you could buy one of these. And the crown, case back, very reminiscent of Tudors. So it's not really, I suppose it's a Mill Sub more than anything else, but it is a mixture of different Rolexes. So, my complaints. When I got this watch, I actually took it out of the packaging, played around with it for a day, then put it back in a box and contacted Ginault because I was unhappy with the bezel. Now, their response to me was that it was supposed to be like this. It's a spring-loaded bezel. First time I've encountered one, there's a little bit of play there. When I got it, it was creaky. It didn't really sound fantastic, hence my email to the company. Now, please, if you have one of these, or indeed if you have the Rolex Submariner upon which it is based, and it has this spring-loaded bezel, leave a comment, tell me I'm an idiot, tell me it's supposed to be like that. Apparently the logic behind it is that you, for diving purposes, it's a diver obviously, the spring mechanism is to ensure that you need to push down on the bezel in order to rotate it. In practice though, I don't really see that as being all that effective. You can still twist the bezel quite easily without much of downward pressure. I just don't think it's in the watch's overall interest. I don't think it adds much to the design. For me, all it really adds is a little bit of lateral play, a little bit of creak and noise. I just don't think they've done it all that well, and if you're not going to do it well, then don't do it at all. That would be my argument. So that's my major complaint. That isn't really all that major, if I'm being honest, the bezel. What else? The anti-reflective coating, or lack thereof, on the dial. The dial is just beautiful gloss black. Forgive the reflections from my window in front of me there. Beautiful gloss black, applied indices that are quite shiny. In certain light conditions, you get multiple reflections of these indices appearing in the glass. Again, Ginault's argument was that this was done to be original to the Submariner. Is it better than that kind of blue sheen that you get with some anti-reflective coatings? Possibly. Again, it's just a comment rather than a complaint. Now the third one, again an observation rather than an outright complaint. If you buy one of these, be careful about the glide lock bracelet. Because of the nature of it, it clips in and out there. One piece of genius, by the way. It just gives me so much respect for Rolex. If this is a meld of 4 different Rolexes, then Rolex truly makes some amazing watches. And this glide lock system is apparently a total rip-off of theirs, so it's really, really good. It does, however, scuff the links a little. You can see that one there. There's some definite scuffing on it. So just be careful when you're sizing it. Those end links that go in the glide lock are going to get scuffed. I swapped mine around a couple of times. As a result, there's a little bit of scuffing on that link over there. So just something to bear in mind when you are sizing the watch on your wrist for the first time. Fourth complaint, you know, again, relatively minor, is the movement. The movement is the big unknown with this watch. It's an ETA clone. Ginault claim it's hand built with custom parts. Nobody's really quite sure what's in it. I'm certainly not going to take the back off of this one. I am no watchmaker. I'm only likely to break it. The sheet that they gave me suggests that this thing is running, you know, where are we? Plus 0.2 within, you know, 1 plus 1 minus 1, etc., etc. It's been running for a week. I've kept it running, done a watch check on it with the watch check app on my phone. There were a couple of days when it was way off. It was kind of minus 11. Those were days that it spent in its box in the cupboard. On my wrist, it's been running at minus 5 over the last 3 days. So if it settles down to minus 5, I'll be very happy with it. But also, it's not quite what Ginault are claiming it to be. Anyway, enough complaints. Let's get on with the gushing praise. Put it on my wrist. This really is a beautiful looking watch, beautifully made watch, very well manufactured, and I think offers incredible value for money. Is it worth the $1,299 US that its RRP suggests at the moment? I'm not sure. Whether you're prepared to stump up 1,300 US for an unknown micro brand homage, that's up to you. The quality is there though. It's just beautiful. Why did I buy this watch? For many years I wore a Omega Seamaster Pre-Bond 200. It was my everyday watch. I kind of, as they say, I kind of beat it. I pretty much beat it to death. I cracked the dial pins on it. It sat in a box for a number of years. It's working again, but it's a bit too fragile for an everyday wear. But as you can see, quite a similar aesthetic to the Ginault. I wanted something that I could wear every day, not be too precious about, something that could take the odd hit here or there, develop its own patina, scratches with age. I think watches that you look after to the nth degree. Well, that's some people. That's not really why I buy and wear watches. I buy them so that they can enjoy. I can enjoy them and they can enjoy me a little bit as well. And I think this is a great value proposition. It's got a 40mm case, which I think fits beautifully on my 7-inch wrist. A little more if you include the crown and crown guard, probably about another 4mm there. 20mm lugs, beautiful bracelet, tapers down to 16, but the glide lock makes it 18. If anyone's tried the Oris Heritage 65 diver, it's got a similar taper, but it tapers all the way down to 16. Looks a little bit diddy. I tried it on. This feels more substantial than that. Fabulously well manufactured, I think. Bracelet, unsigned, so there's some suggestions that it's off the shelf, but hey, you know, it's a pretty good shelf that they bought this one from. Beautiful printed rose, the Ginault logo on the crown there. Very simple. Case back. I think there's some serial number on there as well. 300 meters. Now, I've been on my wrist for a week. I took it to the beach, swam in the sea with it, no problems. Got a bit of sand in it here or there. Just wash it out. It's all good. That's what this watch is going to be for me. It's going to be an everyday wear, and it is just stunning. As I said, back on the wrist. I really don't like taking it off. I've already started putting all my other watches on eBay because I suspect that this is going to get the vast majority of the wrist time. It's quite thin. Now, Armand the watch guy, he did a very good review of this. He noted that because the movement is not held within the case entirely, because there's a kind of bowed case back, it gives it opportunity to sit on the wrist a little more. That disappears into the flesh, if you like, and means that it wears a little bit thinner than it does. The bezel, going back to the bezel, the action's actually really good rotationally. It's just got that little lateral play that I'm not all that enamored about. Oh yeah, one more tiny complaint. The hands, to my mind, the Loom, which by the way is fabulous. Look elsewhere for a Loom shot. I've chosen to do this video during the day, so you're not going to get a Loom shot. But the Loom is really good, all night Loom, beautiful shade of green as well. To my mind, the Loom looks slightly different on the hour hand than on the indices and the minute hand. A little more orangey than golden sandy, in my opinion. But again, minor details. The Loom pip is the same shade as well. So should you buy the Ginault Ocean Rover? Absolutely, 100%. You should buy this watch. It is beautiful. Natural competition, Steinhardt Squally. I've seen a Squally from what I know, and other comparison videos on YouTube. It dumps on the Steinhardt and the Squally. Original watches, there isn't really anything at this price range. I've got a Hamilton that has an RRP of $1,000, one of their aviation Pilot Pioneer models. This thing is a mile ahead of the Hamilton in every respect, apart from perhaps the movement. Perhaps the Hamilton with its 80-hour power reserve takes that one, but it is just so nicely done, so well manufactured, real attention to detail, and finished at a level way beyond the Hamilton. Oris Aquis, I've heard comparisons to Oris Aquis. I've even heard favourable comparisons to certain Tudor models as well. So I don't have experience of those myself, but this is a luxury watch. If it looks like a luxury watch and if it feels like a luxury watch, then it is a luxury watch regardless of how much you paid for it. So if you can get a discount on one of these, if you can get it at anywhere under the 1300 US, I would be snapping one of these up. I hope that Ginault uses the success of this watch, because I think it has been a success. I think mine was order number 998, so assuming that they have shipped now 1,000 of these units. Customer service very good from the gentleman John McMurty, who is the manager of Ginault. I'll pop it back on my wrist there. If you can get one for anything under the RRP, then I would certainly buy it. I hope that Ginault use the success and their undoubted watchmaking capabilities to launch some different brands, different models. Perhaps they'll do a Steinhardt and come up with a number of other models. There's no date on this one. I'm not a fan of Cyclopses. I really wouldn't be worried about the lack of inclusion of a Cyclops. There's no date. I like a date on a watch. It's not a deal breaker for me, obviously. You can tell I'm thoroughly impressed with this. Very happy that I bought it. I'll be doing another video, probably do a 1 month review video, just to let you know how I'm getting on, maybe have a look. There's a couple of little nicks on the bracelet clasp already, but that's, as I said, entirely fine. I'm not particularly careful with my watches, so I would expect it. If you found this video useful, please hit like, please hit subscribe if you would like to see some more videos of the Ginault Ocean Rover or any of my other usual 5-minute vids.